and I used to talk with the trees. It's such a connection, communion with nature. And that's the most beautiful moments that I have. Betty, you back?
I'm back. Oh, wow. And so what I just heard, because I got lost in cyberspace, is that you enjoyed climbing the trees. And I remember you were talking about this the first time that we met at an Access Consciousness class. You told me how you would, as a kid, climb into the trees.
Yeah. I had this communication. I used it to talk with the plants and with the trees. And I used it to hear the earth talking with me. And sometimes the sensation of loneliness that I had when I was a kid, most of the time when I was in nature, it disappeared. Mm-hmm. Which is completely different on how we receive nature in the fairy tales that we spoke about this. They always refer to nature, a place where kids, they get lost in nature. But it was not true for me, because nature was always a place where I felt safe and received all the time. I was a Mowgli, mm-hmm. and I didn't like so much people. I loved the trees, animals, and I felt very embarrassed around people. Mm-hmm. And my body received a lot of contribution. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for all the trees in this planet. And when we created this class, if we start talking about this, my world like expanded again, like.
Yeah.
And when I met you in an Access class, I remember in Dublin. Not Dublin.
No, in Denver, right? Yes. I think.
At SOP.
Yes.
It's beautiful. A friend of mine told me, because I was talking about this connection with nature, he was like, you must know Bettina. I don't know her. And when we met, like, we connected like this, and yes. we said all the time, like, that's what nature is. It's something that it's undefinable and gives us so much.
Yes, totally. And in my life, I grew up in Berlin, in Germany. I was in a big city that was split by a wall, and I was on the west side, and but my grandparents had a garden. And so I spent every day with my grandmother, and I was out in nature. I sat by trees, I planted seeds, I planted flowers. I spent, after school, I spent the rest of the day there, and I loved it. So I had this, in this big, like pretty intimidating city, lots of concrete, I had this green oasis to be and to breathe. And for me in my life, nature has also the earth. Like when I say nature, it is when I go outside and I am by the trees and I walk in a forest. It has been such a source of energy, strength. Have any of you ever noticed, any of you who are on the call here, when you go out in nature, you go out by a tree, you go out on a walk, how this can change any energy around, and you just find peace, right? And you find energy. I just always get so energized and joyful. Things change. It is just such a contribution to me. And I have to say that trees several times in my life have sort of been there for me where I was not there for me, right? But they showed me that space of a different possibility. And so I'm really so happy that we are having this conversation, Marizete, and I'm so grateful for everyone who is joining us now or who will watch this in the future, what can we all receive?
Yeah. And interesting that what you said, like the trees were always there when I was not there. Like I remember one of our conversation, you told me there was a question that you brought up that created me so much awareness in my world, like asking nature, can I have more of me? Asking nature, you always show us. Last week I was having a bad hair day, and I look at three trees on the street like this here around, and I spoke to them and said, hey, would you like to show me something beautiful? What's the awareness that I'm not getting? Can you show me? And when I arrived home, I had a total openness of another awareness of the things that I was sticking on. And I was like, oh, how does it get any better than that? And my question is like, what would it take for us to partner with nature and get our mind from our out of our life and be totally in connection with nature? It doesn't mean that we have to go outside, but like ask the mountain around your house or some tree, hey, can I have a contribution? And just the energy.
Yes. This is so beautiful. What if we had this communion with the earth, communion with nature all the time? Like the other day when we were talking, Marizete, we were talking about how everything here is nature. Our body is made from the earth. Our homes are made from the earth. There is not basically anything here that is not from the earth. Maybe some meteorite pieces and parts that are here. But other than that, everything is made from nature. So what can we receive all the time? From everything. Yeah. What else is possible? And I wonder also, like you were talking about asking questions, right? And we are both Access Consciousness certified facilitators. So have you always asked questions, or like what do we learn when we grow up? Is this asking questions or is it having answers, right? And what does this create for the earth?
Yeah.
What does this create for our bodies that are made from the earth? And so I'm just getting to these places where asking questions just opens so much more this space of being. And I wonder if we all were asking questions all the time, with everything, questions to the earth. Hey, if I choose this, what will this create for the earth? And if I don't choose this, what will this create for the earth? What being is possible? I find that if I am not really being me, it is when I am this bad hair day, or I am sad, or I am grumpy, then I'm asking, wow, am I being me? And when I'm joyful and jumping around, I'm also asking, is this being me? And when we are joyful, are we then not more of a contribution also to the earth? Earth is joy to me. When I look around, there's no point of view in nature, right? When you were by the tree,
pure joy, pure joy.
Did the tree ever judge you?
And sometimes I stop and I look around.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm one of those tree huggers too. I love it. I just love hugging a tree and leaning against the tree and caressing it, and just the moss, looking at the little mosses, looking at the bark. And I do this also with my flowers. Look, I have this beautiful orchid here. Do you see it? It's blooming all the time.
Rachel has a question. Would you speak more about kindness with nature, all beings, plants, animals, and people? I'm walking and enjoying the trees.
Aww.
Yeah. What if when we be ourselves, and when we are total, when you lower our barriers, and we are not trying to fit this reality, and what if it's being kind with nature? Because we were taught that when we are serious, responsible, and rigid, we are successful. And when we are serious, and what if when we laugh is when we contribute, when we are kind with nature, when we heal nature? Laughing is the biggest contribution we can be. Laughing. You can heal the nature by laughing. So everything that doesn't allow you to laugh a lot today, let's just try and create it.
Right, one good bed online for talk shorts, boys and beyonds.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, that is an awesome question. And kindness with nature is like how much are we all trying to control nature? How many points of view are there about weather, right? Like it is too hot, it's too cold, it's too this, it's too that. And would kindness with nature also be where we allow the earth to be the earth and not try to control it, but create with it? Okay, yeah. So like way back, one of my yoga teachers, he would always say, there is no bad weather, there is just the wrong clothes. And it's true, right?
When like, you go naked.
Yes. And if it's raining, what's the problem? If it's snowing, is this really a problem? Or could I just wear cool, warm clothes and still enjoy my body and still enjoy the earth? So that's really a beautiful question, Rachel. Thank you. Kindness with nature. Would that also be, wow, Marizete, everywhere we don't have kindness with our own nature? And use force rather than allowance and question, wow, let's uncreate and destroy all of that. Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, online, pot, talk shorts, boys and beyonds. What if the earth is actually showing us a space of possibility to be?
And what if when we are this space of being, because all of us, we came to the planet Earth, we chose to come here to create consciousness and awareness, right? And all in this planet is about this reality. And every time we try to fit in this reality, we are fighting. We are not contributing with nature, with the earth. Because the lies we bought here, like that we must be serious, we're supposed not to laugh, we're supposed not to have fun, those create so much contraction in our bodies. And, just for you to perceive the difference, when you go to forest and we give us some space, how do you perceive your body when you are around trees and around nature, or you go to the sea? How is it? Is us your molecules has more space? Does it create more space in your world? Because now, just the fact to be in this picnic, my world's like there's so much space, and it's like, what if it's what we be?
Yeah, right. Yes. And Rachel added here, what triggered her question was Blossom's email about the rhinos last week. Yes, and that brings up an entire area of creation on the planet. And the email was about poaching, and it's basically where animals are being killed for the ivory or just this killing energy. And I wonder what it brought up for all of us, Rachel. I read that email too, and that what I find that is the amazing challenge and also the possibility of expanding our allowance, because what Marizete just said, when we go into fighting it and resisting it, what are we actually creating? And so, but allowance, on the other hand, does not mean that we approve of whatever the creation is. So, wow, Marizete, what if we just have everybody lower their barriers right now, just to do this as a little exercise to just get that space. So let's just all lower our barriers, all the walls, all the shields and veils, whatever we have, and just let's lower them all into the earth. And more, and more, and more. And let's expand out. Expand out. Let go of the barriers. What if we don't have to resist anything or react to anything? And on the other hand, what if we don't either have to align with anything or agree? So the question for me, I have been with that for a week about now. And so the question for me that helped was lowering my barriers, expanding my allowance, and then number 3 was asking questions such as what can we all be and create here on the earth that would create a different reality? And everything that doesn't allow that, let's uncreate and destroy it. Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, pot, pock, shorts, boys, beyonds. And this beautifully weaves into what you just said, Marizete, the being. When we are being from that space, when we are being, what can we create?
When there is something, I would like to acknowledge here, we have this embodiment, we chose the embodiment. I think that everybody that's here is humanoid, and with the embodiment of a humanoid, we have so many capacities that we didn't acknowledge yet. And what would take for us to use those capacities, like those 7 trainings, to communicate, to create this intimacy with nature, beyond this reality, and be the lightness when there is this kind of situation like Q energy against nature, because every time you align or react or agree with something, you create more of this. And what if we being this lightness and totally acknowledge the embodiment of humanoid we be, and use our bodies to our advantage? I wonder what else can be created.
Yeah.
It's something like beyond this reality. And what else is possible? Yesterday I was watching the Avatar, and I was like all the time crying because I was already perceiving the energy of the glass and perceiving lots of energy. And I was podding pock everything that I was watching. And there is something that there is. I was doing the movie. I was asking, what is true here? What is true here for me? What is it that I'm aware that I'm not acknowledging? Show me. And then I bumped into a documentary about what inspired this movie, and it was about something that happened in Brazil 6 years ago. Like they would build up. That was what I was perceiving, you know. And what else is possible here that we can create? We can be to change this. And how much chaos can we be to change this?
Yeah.
And everything that doesn't allow this, that's
right
and wrong, and bad.
Yeah, and laughter is chaos. Happiness is chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And so chaos is not havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos is not like fighting or the war. That is havoc. That is not chaos. Chaos is when we don't have a point of view, when we don't align and agree and resist and react. But we ask the question, what else is possible here? What can I choose that would create a different possibility? Do you hear me, or am I breaking up?
No, I'm hearing you.
Okay. What else can we all choose here?
What else?
Beyond the fighting and resisting. And wow, what else is possible if we also allowed the earth and the earth beings and the nature beings to contribute to us?
And there are lots of conclusions. Nature is, and even for kids, they say, "Oh, don't go to the forest; you're gonna get lost," and blah blah blah. And how much does it create this embodiment of contraction on people?
Yeah.
That they don't create intimacy with the nature, with the earth. And how can we be here? How the biggest contribution we can be is be space, right? Be the space. That's the contribution we can be. So every time we fight, we create more of this. And what if we could instead of it, we could honor nature by instilling lots of chaos here and laughing with no stop. And what else can we be?
Yes, and this is a yes, and this is a choice that we can make. Yeah.
And I feel like I want to do something. Let's dance around the trees.
Yes, and that is a choice that we can make. Happiness is a choice we can all make. So when we go, I wonder also, Marizete, when we go into this sadness, like how much are we also aware of other people's choices, like their sadness, other people's fighting? How much fighting has been done on the earth for the past 2,000 years and more? How much fighting and resisting and controlling and ordering has been done here? So, everywhere we have made order and resistance and fighting more valuable than being. And also everywhere we have made the doing fighting and doing resisting and ordering more significant and vital than being. Let's uncreate and destroy all of that.
Yes.
Wow. Maybe we should say just like in case there are people who have never heard the clearing statement, what we are saying here is the access consciousness clearing statement, which is right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And we explain this in our classes. We will soon explain this also in a telecall that we are going to do, a series. And you can read about it on www.theclearingstatement.com. It's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. It's this magic wand that takes any limitation, judgment out of your reality, just like that. Wow.
How much that fight is creating or destroying there.
It is.
You know, nature, the earth is so kind with us that if the nature would like to throw us away from this planet, it would do like this, you know, because nature has this aggressive presence that can do like this, but the generosity of spirit of nature is so big with us that still let us be here. So what would it take for us create this space of intimacy, like honoring nature, trusting, be grateful, and be an allowance for the earth, and be totally vulnerable, like going to a forest naked, barefoot, bare feet, and singing and trusting that nature will take care of us.
Yes, and what if we had that even in the middle of Manhattan? What if we had that no matter where we go? But what if this could even be the vulnerability, the gratitude, allowance, trust, and honor? Like, what if this could even be the space we be? If we were that all the time, Marizete, do you think there could be war? Do you think there could be killing if we were all that space? And what invitation can we all be if we choose that?
Yeah, I wonder. And Bettina, you spoke the other day we were talking. We spoke about us to acknowledge that we, as nature, everybody's that we chose is an inner forest, because we have nature inside of us. And you spoke about something that we don't need to go outside to be with nature. What if you could be in this space of honoring and connection and communion with nature, wherever you be, even in New York, and just be in the space for nature to hold the energy for us, because that's like a dance. I perceive like a dance.
Yes, and it is also so undefined, right? Like, so everywhere we have defined what this even means. So all the definitions, judgments, conclusions, computations, all the projections, separations and rejections of what this would even be, the space of being our own nature, the space of allowance. Everywhere we have defined it in some ways. Let's uncreate and destroy that, all right? Right, wrong, good, bad, online, podbox, shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Do you all sense more space right now? I do.
Yes, Rachel and Cynthia. Cynthia is unmuted. Rachel. And does anybody brought any question for this picnic? Any more questions? So
would anybody like some fruit? I have some fruit. Okay, I take a piece of apple with cinnamon.
and yeah. And I would like to add something here about like when I was child, I had lots of ease with horses. I used it to hide horses without anything, without like just my clothes, and I felt so safe on top of a horse. And when I was 9, my mom had an accident, and I saw her bleeding because she fell from a horse. And from that day, I was like, I had this decision. I'll never hide a horse again. And now, when I am around a horse, I've been perceiving this calling from the horse. Hey, you trust me? And when I was in Costa Rica for the CF certification, in access certification, everybody went to horse riding, and I was like, no, I don't know how to ride a horse, huh? And lately, I was wondering and asking questions. How much are the horses asking me to be in communion with them? Because I spoke about this story because how much of us who we cut off because of a decision, a conclusion, or a trauma and drama that we bought someday. We cut off ourselves to cut off the communion with the animals. Because animals, they do communion. They don't do connection. Oh, I'm going to connect with you, okay? They do. If you are in a horse and you are not in communion with the horse, of course you're gonna fall, right? And how much are you cutting off the communion with yourself by cutting off communion with all the animals in the planet and everything there is that is trying to create it? Wow. Right? In bed, pot and pop, nine shots, boys and beyond.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder how much, yeah, how much are we cutting off, and what could we receive if we allowed ourselves to have our barriers down? There is this, right? There is this idea and this reality that we need to protect ourselves, but would an infinite being have to protect themselves? Or would an infinite being be aware? So what are animals showing us? Do they protect themselves? Do they say, I need barriers, I need walls? No. When we protect ourselves, we also don't allow things that the earth and the animals could contribute to us, right? And have you been on a horse then? Did you go riding?
Not yet. I am like this, but I had the same. I cut my awareness for dogs when I was 8. A dog had sexual attraction for me when I was 6, and I felt like so embarrassed because the horse wanted to have sex with me on the street, and I was like, I since then I started like, oh, I'm afraid of dogs. I'm afraid of dogs, and like when I started playing with access tools, I started letting my body receive from everybody, everywhere, low barriers. Like I don't have no points of view. So I started receiving dogs. And now I can sleep with, I have a friend, she has a big dog, and we sleep hugged. And you have this union, and it's so fun. And now I have much more of myself, my being. Grateful for this amazing dog because it's so much kindness
and joy.
The joy and the presence and the gratitude, and oh my God,
yes
totally changed a lot for me. I'm so grateful, and I have much more of me. And since I started, I lower my barriers, and this create all the points of view. So everywhere where you bought conclusions, expectations, projections, judgments about animals, about the earth, about nature, about the wind, that this wind is too strong or too low, and about the oceans, about the rivers, and about the forests, the deep forests. Would you like to destroy and create it, please?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, and shots, boys and beyonds. There is one place where I don't have any fear, is middle of forest. Mm-hmm. That's the only place where I feel totally empowered, you know? Mm-hmm. It will take for all of us bring the deep forest with us everywhere we go.
Yeah, so everywhere you have learned from anyone in your family that it is not safe to be in nature, that nature is dangerous. So all these points of view and projections, expectations, let's uncreate and destroy all of those. Times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, pot, pop, shorts, boys and beyonds, because you could always ask, is this actually true? And if it is heavy, so that was all a lie. And if it is light, well, then there's a truth for you, right? So discerning the light and heavy. And if you think of nature, if you think of the animals, is it actually true that that the forest is dangerous? You know, when when I'm right now walking in the forest, I'm more concerned about humans than animals, I have to say, because they are out there and they are with guns. They are shooting. They are having guns here in the United States, right? So I'm okay with everything that the forest is. So there is a question, pot and pop, all that. Yeah, so what if we, instead of being afraid, we were aware?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then we would know if there is a jaguar, like being his beautiful being of being a jaguar, right? So what if we were instead aware? Like, I remember, whenever I'm in forests, or I was in Costa Rica and I was going running. So I was actually I was talking with the snakes, and I asked them, hey guys, I'm here. I don't want to harm you. I respect you. I honor you. Please let me know if I come too close. Give me information and I will back off. I will go another trail. And it is amazing when we ask these nature beings, when we ask the animals to give us the information, they will. I got information literally very physical in my body, and it was like, take this trail, and I could just perceive snake energy. Wow, how does it get any better than this? When we are in communion, we will also know. Or I was out in the garden. I remember in my garden, it was getting dark, and there was this shrub, and I was like, I don't know, coming very close to the shrub, and there were leaves underneath, and all of a sudden I hear like the sound of a rattlesnake. It was not a rattlesnake, it was a pine snake, but they can move the leaves and they imitate rattlesnake. And I was jumping backwards. So that snake had warned me to, like, don't come any closer. Like, wow. For me, this is beautiful. And I say thank you to all these creatures for letting me know before I step on them. So there is a question here from Cynthia. She says about not eating animals. This is what she says.
Being vegan, right?
What if that could be a choice, but not a necessity, not from a fixed point of view? Like, for instance, I'm in an area here where there are Native Americans around. And what I learned from them is that when there is a herd of animals, they will ask the buffalo that is willing to give itself to them to come forth, and they will hunt that animal. And there's always animals that will step forward and be willing. So, wow. Everything that brings up for everyone, let's uncreate and destroy that. Right, wrong, good, bad, online, pod, puck, shorts, boys and beyond.
Wow. There are lots of words there. Let's do it again, this process.
I don't remember.
Everything that brought up, let's destroy it, please. Yeah. There are lots of fixed points of view around this, and and the Q energy is part of nature, right? And
what if eating meat is also part of nature?
Yeah. And what is consciousness? Consciousness includes everything, judges nothing. What if, it's a choice, total choice. And what if you could ask your body, hey body, would you like to eat meat or vegetables? What if it's a choice of the body?
And there are certain animals that, like, if I look at the cows, what if these animals, the cows, for instance, also have agreed to be eaten? What if that is not a wrongness?
Yeah.
Right? What if that could be a total choice? And see, there's a lot of points of view about right and wrong and good and bad. What if we had no point of view about it?
Rachel is asking something. I remember sitting by the pond in Costa Rica. I inquired space about to ABD to be by water, and suddenly I got
a picture, I think, a picture.
A crocodile in an image of be aware. So I moved away. A couple of hours later, found out there were crocodiles in the pond. Interesting when you are willing to receive the awareness.
Yes. Yes. This is so beautiful. Great example of when we are in allowance.
And we are present in our bodies.
Yes.
And in total communion with the earth. Because how many people I remember something that Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, told once in a class that humans are so insane that they are only species that is taking pictures during a tsunami. While the animals had escaped a month ago, humans are still like taking pictures. And the tsunami is coming. That's what happens the last tsunami.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
People are not aware of the vibration of the earth. What takes for us to awake and start listening the whispers of the earth and be truly in communion with her. Because the earth is so generous, so kind with us, that it always sends a whisper. Always, always.
And what if our bodies are also these antennas that give us this information, these whispers? What if our bodies are facilitating the whispers of the earth as they are made from the earth? Like, you know, sometimes people ask me, how do you get to that perceiving the whispers? Where do I even start? And what if we started asking our bodies, hey body, what is this? What is here? Give me, what information are you trying to give me? And also finding out, what if this could be an amazing adventure to find out how your body is actually giving you information. I know there are people who perceive earthquakes or volcano activity with their bodies. They get nauseous or they get a headache. Like, what if we never come to a conclusion with our bodies? Like, oh, I have a headache. Oh, I feel so bad. What if instead we ask our bodies, body, what is this? What information are you giving me? Why? Like, I did this with the snake. I had these snake images come in out of the blue. Like, I saw snake images and I did not say, oh, why do I have snake images? I was like, well, what am I aware of? Hey body, what are you trying to tell me? Are there snakes around? And I got a yes. And it's like, wow, thank you body. This is amazing. What greater awareness can I be? What else can I receive with my body?
Yeah, that's amazing that you say that, because I remember like 30 years ago there was not the Weather Channel nor those apps, blah, blah, blah. And in my grandmother's farm there was no light, no water, like we had very primitive there, and the TV functioned with the battery of the car, and and there was a man, an old man, that he was like his body was the weather channel, because it's a place that doesn't have so much rain. But this man, people used to go to his house, because when his knees would hurt, that's when we would have a big rain, you know.
Oh yeah.
His knees would, like, his joints would hurt, and that was the contribution for the whole community around. So it's
wow.
You telling this about, like, asking the body being a contribution, like, to be these antennas, parabolic antennas, to receive the information of nature. And that's how we function when you're in forest. Like, hey, buddy, show me where I have to. If you don't have GPS, mobile, Wi-Fi, what you're gonna do? So, what take for us to start doing this on your life, like daily lives?
I wonder. Wow.
Yeah. And as more simple we are in nature, as more we can receive.
Yes, exactly.
And nature has so much to give to us, so much. And just ask, hey nature, how can you contribute with me like this? And what is this whisper? And what is this? And just ask, then perceive what are you going to receive. Cynthia says that she has to go to work now. Deepest gratitude. Thank you, Cynthia. Obrigada. Muito
Thank
obrigada.
you so much. Obrigada.
Brazil.
It's the only Brazilian word that I can say. Obrigada.
Yes.
The only Portuguese word. Yeah, Portuguese.
Tudo bom. Remember? What? Tudo bom.
Tudo bom? Yes, tudo bom. Yeah, so that is really beautiful. And also what you said, Marizete, how his body awareness was actually such a contribution to the entire community. So what contribution can our body awareness and receiving be for everything? And so I wonder, also coming back to the rhinos, what Rachel was mentioning, what if we were totally in awareness and receiving our body awareness and having that space of communion? What contribution will this be to the animals? When we ask questions, what can I be aware of here? Is there anything that I can do that would change this? Yes or no?
I get it.
And also ask the earth, what, please show me, what can I be or do different? What is there anything that I can be that would change this? And what would that energy be? What if that is a space of being first and not the doing first? But every doing could also come from a space of being that can be very undefined. Does this make any sense?
Doesn't need to make sense. What if it doesn't need to make sense?
Let's be chaos.
That's about what we need.
Wow.
It doesn't make sense. No cognitive. It's about earth and everything that's all the projections, expectations, rejections, limitations, creating the cognitiveness of this reality. Let's destroy and create it.
Yes. Right
and wrong, good and bad, for the focus on our shots, but beyond. That's the fun of this picnic, you know? We can be like, we can just be with nature.
Right.
To make sense, because there is like there is no scientific study like when you were asking those questions, I was like in Amazonia in Brazil, like connect with the native Indian, like I was there, like connect with them, like what would take for us to function from one mass.
Everywhere we have made fighting into the only solution for creating change, let's uncreate and destroy all of that. Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Truly, what else is possible? And what else is there? What choice is available to us that nobody else, like what choice is available to each one of you that no one else has on the planet? What can you choose that would create a different reality? Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, let's uncreate and destroy it. Yes? Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. Wow.
I'll take for us all humankind to start being in nature without the point of view of nature is something separated.
That must be controlled.
That must be controlled. That's nature's enemy, they are nature is in control, and nature is something like, what is not, tell me what's not nature?
Right.
What is not nature? Everything comes from nature, even us, our bodies. So all the schematics, and refined judgments creating this, let's destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Time to godzillions, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on nine, shorts, boys and beyonds.
And there is something, so what fruits of nature have you been unwilling to receive that if you were willing to receive it, would create a different reality beyond this reality and a sustainable earth for the next 10,000 years and more? Everything that doesn't allow that, let's uncreate and destroy it times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Wow. And what energy, space, and consciousness can we and our bodies be that would allow this to come to fruition with total ease for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow that, let's uncreate and destroy it. Right, wrong.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and wow.
Marizete, would you like to say something about our telecall? I wonder.
Yes. We are inviting all the people around the world in this planet to join us for 3 days telecall. Which days it will be? I don't
yes. Remember. Let me find this here. It is on March 13th, 15th, and 20th. Yes, at the same time as we started today. 10 a.m. for those in the Midwest in the US, 5 p.m. in the afternoon for Europe. And whatever time zone you are in, we will have a link so you can find your time.
Yeah, and if you can't go live with us, we're going to send after the class, we're going to send the recording, both of the video and the audio, so you can have the class forever. I would like this is an invitation for intimacy with nature, to create this space of creating a future, sustainable future from the nature you be and with the nature. It's like partnering with nature all the time and choosing be the nature you truly be. That's going to be we're going to
play. We're going to play with what could that be for you, and what invitation can we be for a different possibility here on the earth with total intimacy with nature.
What contribution could this class be to your body? Because we're going to be talking about embodiment.
And what contribution, I wonder, what contribution will this be to the earth and to the animals and to the trees and the forests? Wow. I'm so excited about this.
Joy. It's going to be creative. And how much fun we're going to have in this class by just acknowledging there is no separation, and we don't need to resist nor save nature nor fight for nature. We're gonna be the space for us to
receive
nature and be deep intimacy with nature.
Yeah. Yay. How does it get any better? So are there any other questions? I have not looked.
No. Rachel would like to ask you another question before we finish the class, the call.
Would anybody like another piece of fruit?
I want. What do you have?
I have oranges, I have apples with cinnamon, and I have blueberries. Okay, here I feed you another piece.
Thank you. Oh, Mom's Rachel is in the call.
Hi, yes. Well, she doesn't have her earphones in. I do. I've enjoyed it tremendously. And literally, as I'm walking the dog.
Thank you so much for being here.
And I've enjoyed it so much. I was taking pictures of beautiful trees and flowers along the way, and I posted them on Facebook, and I tagged the two of you guys. So you get some of that expansive energy that reached out to here.
Oh, thank you so much, beautiful Rachel.
And I have a comment, actually. I was listening to something that's of a more metaphysical nature yesterday, because I'm on the Hay House mailing list, and so I get all sorts of stuff from there too. And there was a listen to the Angel Summit, final replays of the Angel Summit, whatever, with Doreen Virtue.
Oh, we lost you.
We lost you. Where are you, Rachel?
Rachel, are you with the angels? Rachel, we lost you in the middle of the flight. It's now became a robot. Interesting.
It is interesting.
Very interesting.
There were some fish or loaves or whatever it was, but not. But he didn't eat from them himself. So the whole conversation of how much judgment we use.
We lost part of your conversation because, first of all, you were frozen. Then you became like a robot.
So the last thing we heard is that you went onto this angel summit.
Oh, so yes, there was a very there was some very interesting things that were coming up, and interesting in how many points of views there were there, and then of course some interesting things that were, you know, contribution. The charge that there is on veganism and on and I've been a vegetarian since I was 14. I don't have a point of view about what people eat or how they eat it. And I ask my body what my body requires. And if it asks for meat, I'll ask, you know, is it just protein that you require, or do you actually require the meat? And so I'll actually ask my body, I don't eat the meat, but if it's asking for protein, I'll ask it, well, what kind of protein would you like? And let's have that. So it's a very, very interesting conversation, that being with nature and the kindness of nature does not exclude eating meat. The whole thing, and the lady asked a question about it, was just fascinating. So I don't know, but that might be an interesting topic for you guys to explore more of in the future, because there's a lot of misidentification, misunderstandings in general with that, and a lot of judgment. So anyway, it was brilliant, it was beautiful, and it was such a gift to have you guys with me.
Oh, thank you so much, Rachel.
On this walk.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola.
Mwah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Bettina.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Marizete. It was such a delight. I'm looking forward to more of this. I'm really excited.
I'm so delighted with this conversation. So,
see you all soon. Bye-bye.
bye.